Hello and welcome to our Mobius Policy Services session, where I will demonstrate how you can make information governance a competitive advantage for your organization. During this demo, I will first introduce our new module ASG Policy Services by presenting its main components and features. Then I will demonstrate how easy it is to create and update a policy rule. Finally, I will test this modification and deploy the new policy. The Policy Services console, named Policy Administrator, is available from the Mobius Administrator main page through this entry. The ASG Policy Administrator allows an organization to implement consistent governance of their information resources using policies. The policies consist of decision models corresponding to these information resources. The decision models can be managed by groups of data officers, records managers, and are defined in the Policy Groups Administration section. The decision models can trigger events. For example, it could be external business services or other internal Mobius content services, such as a content delivery or a content auditing. Finally, notice that ASG Policy Services supports geofencing or the ability to drive decision models based on user locations. Let's now browse to the policies section to understand how it works. By default, ASG Policy Services proposes an access control decision model comprised of decision tables. Each decision table controls the access for a given feature, such as the capture, the annotation, or the viewing of content assets. ASG Policy Services then enforces your information governance rules, whatever their complexity, and for the entire content lifecycle. Let's now have a closer look at the decision table content streams. It controls the content restitution action. In this example, I'm governing the restitution action for different content types and groups. Each line in the decision table defines a rule. For this demo, I configured 8 rules to govern the restitution action for the marketing, accounting, and HR departments of an organization. The decision table is compound of inputs, outputs, and operations headings, and follows a hit-first algorithm that could be changed from this control. It means that it will consider the first rule that it is matching the input data. If I open the first rule, it states that the marketing group members are allowed to view, download, print, and email all documents pertaining to this document class. MKT MAT, which means marketing, which stands for marketing materials, and for the repository Mobius. Notice also that this rule could be driven by the time, for example, time frames, but also location, as I stated before, and also by metadata values. To showcase how it is simple and effective to update our governance rules, let's modify this rule by blocking, for example, the inclusion of annotations for print, email, or download actions. I only want to enable the annotation view. So for this, I will first update this first rule. So I will remove the download, print, and email. Consider the annotations and allow these actions for the marketing group. And I will add another rule to block the other operations. To do that, I will simply duplicate this rule. Here it is. And for this rule, I will select the download, print, email actions, keep the same entries. And in this case, I will block, I will not allow the view of the annotation for this marketing department. To test it, we have a functionality here that we could use. So first I will test that I'm really blocking the printing of annotation. So here I will add the type and the repository that I wanted as an input. And I am blocking this for the marketing department. So the expecting test result would be that I am blocking, I'm not allowing this to be done. And as you can see, so it is not allowed. Let's test that the view of the annotations of this for this document type is allowed for the marketing group now. And normally now this is allowed. Yeah, here it is. So as you can see, my rules are valid, so I could save them now. When I try to save the decision table, the system proposed to put a comment for this new version of decision table in order to track, your governance rules in the time. And that's it. So now my decision table is saved and deployed to the system, and the governance rules are active. During this demo, you have seen how easy and straightforward it is to create, test, and deploy governance rules. ASG Policy Services enables your organization to integrate controls in a central and unique location to manage access to features controlling your content assets without any coding. This core component of Mobius will support your organization to build efficiency by reducing costs and efforts to produce and consume content and turn data into valuable business information. It will also support you following the pace of constant changing and more complex regulations by enforcing governance rules across business operations in an automated and auditable manner. Finally, it will also reduce the data footprint on your system and the cost of information storage and administration.